Now, in the zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice?
Myself.
News 19 nerds have a giant treat. I'm gonna try not to embarrass my parents because I have some good home training. And as a Southern boy, I've got the great Michael Rooker here. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man.
Man, what's it like to be down here back in the South?
It's hot. It's hot. Yeah.
So everybody knows you from something that you've done, and lately, right now, everybody knows you from Guardians of the Galaxy. What has it been like to be known as Mary Poppins?
Well, I'm quite honored to be known as Mary Poppins, you know. Yondu was, this poor guy from not this world, and he had no idea Mary Poppins was a guy or a girl. He had no idea, so he just, if Mary Poppins cool, that's who he is.
One of the coolest things I've seen is kids responding to you, and I have to show you this picture.
Oh, yeah. She's a lovely little Mary Poppins, isn't she?
Look at that. She saw your poster and ran up to our booth when she saw it.
Oh, that's cute. I love those posters you guys did. Man, they look good.
Check that out. Now, from being from the South, from Alabama. Are you an Alabama fan?
Oh, yeah. You know.
How did it?
All my relatives are.
How did it feel watching that game last year?
It was,
as a Clemson fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what can you say? You know, things happen.
One of the coolest things that I've noticed about you is that, especially out here in the crowd, you're not one of those people who stands back. You were actually out there answering questions, interacting with fans. What's been some of the coolest things you've seen since you've been here?
I love people who don't have, they think they have a question, but then they forget. And it's so kind of cute when they get all nervous and they forget. They don't know how to phrase the question, and so then I just make up a question for them.
One of the coolest things I've seen out here is that you are really a nice guy, but I'm not gonna lie to you. You have scared me in some of the movies you've been in.
Oh, this is good. You know, I get paid a lot of money to scare people.
You literally have made as Meryl.
Yeah.
You were like one of the people I really was not a fan of, but when people meet you, they're like, you are the furthest from all of the characters that you portray.
Pretty much. Yeah, thank goodness, right? I mean, really, dude.
I was like,
the characters I play are not the most.
You played a serial killer.
Not the most loving humans on this earth, right?
But one of the things is when you played Yondu, you made people cry. You brought down the house. How did that feel, the reaction when you saw fans who see you and they're like, he may be your father. Like that line.
Yeah, that was a beautiful line too. I had several amazing lines, and the build. Really, it's not the line itself; it's why you're saying the line, and the build up to that really makes the impact. So the setup for that line was accomplished by Chris Pratt, and then when I do the line and I do the scene, it makes sense and it's perfect. You know, and it's fun and it's meaningful and funny. But if Chris had not did his part, I couldn't have done my part. And it wouldn't have worked. So it's really it's not a one-man show. So, you know, that's kind of how it works. You know. You
guys merely seem to be a family on the set, and it seemed to be a really big family environment. What's it been like to film these movies?
It is a family-oriented thing, you know. We all have to combine our energies and efforts and come together and make it work. So yeah.
What's been one of the best characters you've played that you were like, he might have been a horrible person, but I had fun playing him?
Well, come on, Merle Dixon. I mean, please, Merle Dixon was like so awful at times, yet. You know, man, oh man, it's like, in the end, he is like an amazing friend and brother for Norman. And so, yeah, good stuff.
Now, in the zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice?
Myself.
Just you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just you.
No need for anything else, you know.
I can see that. I can see
You
that.
used your weapon right, you don't need a lot.
I can see that. Now, Nick has a question. Now, I'm going to bring Nick in because Nick is one of our fans. Nick is a big NASCAR fan. And so Nick has a question he wants to ask that he's been dying to ask you. Nick.
So I don't know how much you've been keeping up with NASCAR recently, but I know they have the Darlington race coming up, and it's the throwback race. So they're actually bringing back the Days of Thunder car that Cole Trickle won in the Darlington race for.
Oh, the 46?
Yeah, the Motor City car.
Not the 51?
46. Not the 51, but yeah.
I think you should say something about that.
Yeah, I think it's sad that they're bringing back the 46 and not the 51. Rowdy drove 51. Just so they know.
That's Nick for you. That's Nick, one of our correspondents, Street Squad. Now, one of the coolest things I've noticed is Top Gun is getting a sequel. Now, for me, I want a Days of Thunder sequel. Would you be up for that?
Oh, totally. Yeah, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Now, would you get back in the car?
Do I have to go as fast as I did before? Yeah, I'd get back in the car. I think it's a lot of fun. But it's a young man's sport. You know what I'm saying?
You think so?
Yeah, man. Those G's are really tough on you. And they're going pretty fast. So all that takes its toll. When we were doing Days of Thunder, I turned the corner and I saw Dale Earnhardt sitting on his trailer, the steps of his trailer. And this was after the race. And you could tell it drained him. It was hard. What they do is very, very difficult, especially, you don't even have to hit the wall or anything like that. You don't have to do anything, crashes or anything, and it's just hard on the body, those G's, and sometimes if you're bumping and grinding, it's tough. It's very stressful, driving like that.
Well, I'm going to put it out right now for everybody out there. If Top Gun is getting a sequel and we got Top Gun 2, I want a Days of Thunder sequel. I'm putting it out there. I need to see Rowdy back in that car. I want a Days of Thunder sequel. That was my movie back in the day.
Well, Days of Thunder would make a great one, and maybe we could do it in Hawaii or something. Yeah, no. Maybe we'd do it in Darlington. Maybe at couple different tracks. How's that?
I said I wasn't going to embarrass my mom on this.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd
be a lot of fun, man.
The track too tough to tame. I'm going to have to wrap this up because I could talk to you for all day, and you got fans out there
the
waiting.
Widowmaker.
Sir, that's
what it's called, too, isn't it? Yeah.
Sir, it's been an honor. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, man.
Hey,
my pleasure.
For News 19 Nerds, we're out.
Yeah, you have it.
The greatest, Michael Rooker.
Awesome.